All right, object editing. This is the Burlacad object editing OD command. Clifford Yamp. The table of contents. Operation editing. Basic syntax. Operation right hand. Path selection. Reason. Implications. Flexible manipulation. With key point. Subcombination. Addition. Using left hand path selection. Summary. OED command is the MGED user enter the call the object mode, object edit mode. Particular speaking of the mode, they allow the transformation combined object combination. Primitive view of the combination. For example, these transformations are not, or by default, made with the coordinated information primitive in question that are stored instead of the transformation matrix. The article provides brief overview of the explanation of the behavior of the OED command and its use. The operation editing basic syntax operation editing mode fairly straightforward. OE operation editing mode bracketed path listed HS's bracketed path RHS is operating. The operation editing mode serves the primary to make the work of the combination region practicable when there are a large number of the primitives involved within core. The possible to move within primitives one desired location by the process of extremely tedious any of the non-triple combination of the primitives the result of inflexibility. For example, the modeler wished to return the primitive the combination of the original position after moving it as primitives profit the moving that would need to be reversed and only one as well, barring being able to do everything perfectly the first time an individual primitive place impractical. Notion of the path context that refer to the free object, the traditional make up the constructive something graphic mode primitives may be combined with the primitive to be with groups of the object of the path. Any of the individual shape of the combination described as everything of the tree, but they identify with the object of the interest. For example, to take the simple model of a lollipop, and you have the wireframe overlay frame buffer. If you examine the tree substructure object for the resemble the file system combination regions act like a button like folders which can hold the folders and other files. UMG tree lollipop union outer candy shell region outer candy shell union outer candy sphere minus the core stick and corn stick outer counter candy cylindrical outer union outer candy cylindrical minus outer candy sphere core and stick. Union stick shape, union core region, union core stick, and then minus stick. And this file system, the Burlacad object combination can hold the object combination region primitive of the regions. Go ahead and hold the combination primitive. The primitives always leaves on the tree. They do not contain the anything of the combination region of the primitives can be associated with them. Transformation data, sort of like data file system that tell the Burlacad how to manipulate the combination region or primitive question. This data will be acted upon the operational editing command mode is used so that in the above example, the full path of the outer candy sphere of the combination used the lollipop will be lollipop outer candy shell with a region outer candy sphere combination. Note that if wish to continue combination did not specify the lollipop outer candy shell region of the list of the HS's outer candy sphere with the combination of the RHS or the combination of the regions do not themselves have the default of the center of the point. In other words, you relocate the combination that must be pointed around which the rotation curve of the combination will have no default point assigned. This is the reason why the RHS must also be the primitive end of the intent with not additional primitive information necessary for the most operation combination will use the information so the default key set point setting such that primitive does not have. The operation editing object editing mode lollipop outer candy shell region outer candy sphere combination is not enough. The operating object editing mode lollipop operating candy shell region outer candy shell combination outer candy sphere shape or operational mode lollipop outer candy shell region outer candy shell sphere core and core sphere also or object object editing mode lollipop outer candy shell region outer candy sphere stick combination stick sphere. This is needed if it's needed to have the object editing actual enter the edit mode of the lollipop outer candy sphere of the cover. They are primitive of the outer candy sphere with the conceived for combination outer candy for sphere. As for core S is stick S are legal. There will be illustration consequence of different primitive choices. To demonstrate basic object editing behavior, the example is in order. The MT with the MGD section created a new geometry database called the Object Editing Example of G Group or database example, and enable the module coordinating example to display of the MG command reset axle mode underscore draw 1 create 2 primitives in sphere as 3 vector and X, Y, and Z axis, and continuation arbitrary would give you along. There should be no sphere with a cube visible with a screen. You'd have 8 attributaries with the 4 different A, B, C, D, and then all the 8 different sides. Next, create a combination of these 2 parameter combination objects of 1 combination of union sphere stick sphere shape, the union cube shape. After this command, and both parameters combination are present with the display, which will resolve the overlaps. Use the blast command to reduce the display of the just combination, the blasted object of one object. Show that before beginning editing process, if the use the list command to be can be used to review the both combination and self component primitives. Note that the command is lowercase letter L. L is not in the numeral 1. MG list 1 object 1 combination union sphere shape and union cube shape, the MG 1 sphere shape, the ellipsoid vertex 00 A, B, and C, magnesium A direction, cosines A direction, rotation angle D direction, cosine rotation angle 90, fallback angles are 0, and then C direction, cosines angle and fallback angle 90. The MGD 1 cube shape, the cube attributed to 8 different X, Y, and Z's. The first half of the global shift the both of the sphere of the arbitrary 8 with 5 minimum Z axis. First select the combination for editing, the object editing object combination sphere of the shape. Note that if the course is editing object, you must take the type of the reject to revert the pre-object edit move the mode values the existing object edit mode. The object should turn while is below. Once selected, translate the command staff to the combination of the z-axis translate 005. Both the sphere and the cube should have shifted together, and to accept the edit, can edit the object into mode type accept, and then now use the list command to examine the combination of the component parameters of the list objective of the one object command with the combined union sphere shape, the union cube sphere shape, both with the same vertex 005. One sphere shape, the ellipsoid 00, and then A, B, and C, a directional rotational angle, cosines A and B, and directional cosine angle C, rotation fallback angle M and G, CAD 1 cube shape, arbitrary 8 X and Y's values for 8 point arbitrary 8 points. Notice the primitives are not changed, but the combination now contains the additional information as recorded. Both the sphere shape and the cube shape have shifted up to the z-axis 5 millimeters. Select the object 1 combination. Again, apply the rotation as well. The object editing mode, object 1 combination sphere shape, the rotation 0090, acceptance, another check of the list 1, show that the more information stored in the combination level, the primitives are unchanged. MGD 1 object 1 combination union sphere as the azimuth elevation azimuth angle 90, elevation 005, union cube azimuth 90, elevation 005. The one sphere shape, ellipsoid, 0 vertex 00, A, B, and C, direction, vertexes, rotation, cosine angles, and fallback angles, and MGA cube shape, arbitrary 8 vertexes, AX, Y, and Z. What if the modeler did what a primitive of the element chain with existing command called the push will perform the operation so-called because the push transforms the upper level of the DOM to the primitive to be warned to be changed once the DOM difficult to undo witnesses effect on example. Push object 1 combination, object 1 combination, object 1 union sphere shape, union cube shape, 1 shear shape, the ellipsoid, and you have vertex A, B, C directions, direction, rotation, cosines, and angle fallback. Your cube sphere, arbitrary AX and Y, 8 component 8 points. Now the primitives have chain with the combination let back as being with the Boolean operation. Primitive of the operation could be done undone by more transformation under the push to return these things original state, but anything more complex would become hard to undo. But you use push with care. Alright, your right-hand path selection reasons and implementation. Note the previous section of the sphere is as shape selected with using the operation and object edge and editing mode command is part of the RHS would impact with it had been on the cube shape of the selected instead. Leave the command shown with the below with the clear object old object 1 combination 3 MGD reinsert the primitive to make the combination as before. To make the object for the same primitive for later at the moment with the object 2 combination will display a kill tree and sphere with a sphere and then your cube arbitrary 8 directions combination object for the union sphere cube and union cube object union cube shape the blast object 2 combination. In previous section, translate command with the shape of the object with the z-axis. This will deliberately choose to translate the move of the absolute rather than relative position. Attempt the same of the operation time of the cube's primitive. Select the object editing mode. Object 2 cube shape 005 accept. Compare the result with the previous section model. Indeed, the shift of the z-axis of the distance somewhat different with the cube down is 1 inch allowed with the z-axis. Because of the translate works to move at the point with the absolute position rather than shifting everything. Select with the delta x, y, and z. The track command relative position coordinates the effect with the indeed with the independent primitive is selected with the previous selection of the sphere region of the reference point. Note the cube's first coordinate b with the move of the sum absolution position with a different overalls result. For example, for the model, as for other illustrations, attempt the root command with the cube selected, but then again with the sphere with the select the object ending mode objects 2 combination of the cube sphere and rotation of 090 except the object ending object 2 sphere so that your root rotation 090 except the first rotate command rotated model around the y-axis u for the first coordinate with the cube shape of the second with the rotation shape of the result of the previous rotation rotated again around the y-axis, but at the time you have the original sphere shape. The list command previously listed the final results, and you have the MJAD 1 object 2 combination union sphere L0 azimuth angle 180 elevation angle 0 and your vertex is negative 555. Selection of a particular primitive the object ending of the will depend on the particular situation. Combinations do not have the control points of their own. This could not provide any basis of the operation primitive that must be applied supply of every operational object editing mode operation. Alright, the flexible manipulation with a key point. Assume the previous section object editing mode require the point for the translation, rotations, etc. defined by the military BerliCAD the term of the position of the key point. BerliCAD does offer an option with explicit control of the key point with the default primitive the objects are not sufficient. For example, the rotate object 2 combination around the z-axis intersecting at 2-0. The key point might see the explicit point that can be selected identifying primitive. The first check with the current key point object and object 2 combination sphere shape the key point null negative 555. In order to set the new key points, we'll simply x y z coordinated the option with the key point command 220 and key point user specified 220. Note the key point reports identified by the key point user specified having the new key point with a can rotate about the rotation of 0090 except MG1 object 2 combination union sphere azimuth angle 270 elevation angle 0595 key point. In order for the gate grading increase the difficulty identify the transformation restore the original shape of the position the new key point no key point history mechanism, so remember to carefully track that what is done retracing steps before an object is important. So combination editing using left-hand path selection. Importance of the path of left-hand sand selection portion of the object ending command of the better understood with the case of the more objects illustrated the set for the new shape of the additional combination structures added in cone with a TRC Trunicate 404 was and then the combination object 3 the union cone union object 1 region big object region union object 1 combination object union object 3 combination bigger blast object big object region and then you have MG tree big object region big object region union object 1 union sphere union sphere cube object 3 union cone object 1 union sphere union cube first goal to translate object 1 with the most end big object with the 4 millimeter provide with the z direction with the impact with any other part of the model with the main this means with the object 1 with the combination inside object 3 combination inside the big object region should not be with the chain with the first attempt may be work with directly with the object 1 combination. The object 1 combination union sphere shape and the union cure shape the object edge editing mode object 1 combination sphere show the arrow unable to find the solid matching path. Errors returned because of the content command attempt to edit the object one command is the total level of the object. Total level object is not currently displayed with the top level object due to the previous blast cleanup. However, the MGD does not forfeit the clean object one combination out of the display of the big object region is displayed, assuming it will still simulate this entering the blast big object region object one combination into the MGD prompt. Previous command will have the different result of the big object region object one combination object editing mode object one command combination sphere shape. BrillaCAD is now the object edit mode. Visually looks at the highlight precisely the part of the module targeted in translation. However, the translated as TRA targeted 004 except the big object region object one combination. All right, both object one combination presented with the big object region with a different object one combination object three combination have been translated only with the instance of the sphere can be the combination visible. The subtitle problem must be but remember the original goal to move only the object one combination inside of the big object R region of the table. This technique can move with them, and that would especially problem modeler didn't realize the object one combination was still displayed. Assuming the intent with only the sub-object for the other objects avoid above command visually did the right thing before, but returning the B command, the result would look correctly with the two reliable hints. Something wrong. The list is run with the big object region, no transformation matrices, and observe the object one command. Alright, so you have your MGD, one big list of the big object region, region ID, and then the error, los, and the GIF material. The union object one combination, the union three object object three combination. Examine the one reader object one combination. Simple result of identical with a big object region object one combination interchange. And then it's got their scripts. The current way to move the above task would use the path list of the regions to identify the where the transformation occur. Remember the beginning of the article lollipop example showed instance of the list for the region path uses example with the need of the first object two combination was returned to the previous position, and so is the object editing object of the combination sphere your your traditional point 0014 except the B object region. The next object commands are entered object and ended by object region object one combination sphere shape target 004 except the big object region and then visually is already clear. There is no offset with the object one combination to simply display. Repeating the list command also show the explicit result of the combination shown with the transformation for the matrices object one combination reporting shall show the differences and show the MGD one big object region reading region identify error los and the GIF matter union object one combination with object three combination MG one big object rejection object one combination big object region object one combination union sphere union cube sphere also with the same 004 targeted MG one big object of the region object three combination object one combination big object region object three object one combination union sphere union shape the union cube shape the MGD one object one combination with the object one combination union sphere union cube. Alright, there's a lot of potential here and unintended consequences. On the other hand, some cases the modeler may want all the instances of the object one combination to pick up the chain. The awareness of the danger inherits of the type of the operation is an important skill for the modeler to acquire. Here's a summary. The major point for the operation editing mode commands or operation editing OED is the general tool for working with the combination regions instead of the primitives, and object edit mode does not alter the primitive that directly instead of work with the transformation matrices is applied by the BRL CAD. BRL CAD requires the primitive shape supplied with the end of the path of the regions of the object mode of the operation. The push of the use of the force chain, the corresponding applicable change is done to the primitives, but operation is destructive as far as original primitive the information is concerned. Key point is the object edit mode. The point of move to translate operations around with the rotation or curve of the inside of the primitive is selective of the object editing mode, but you can also see manually with the object edit mode. When object is inside of the other object, it is important to reset. Remember to use the path listing regions to proceed in defining the shape of the work around the subtotal of the messy errors if possible with the wrong path is used. And this was a reading of the object editing command.